Hi. Yeah, I just thought I would try going live and see how much traction it gets, even though I didn't announce anything. But I haven't been live in a while, and there's, obviously significant interviews I've done since the last time. I don't know yet exactly. Hey, besides just like doing my doing the Minneapolis Pride again, I don't really have any like specific plans for summer yet. I mean, I don't think it's an option, even if I wanted to like try and pursue doing that more. No, I don't think I knew that, which is funny since or maybe I did know that, but since I interviewed Mick 3 years ago now. Favorite horror movies. Um, the original Black Christmas is one of my top favorite ones. Pin, which is from 1988. Um, Unsane. Hard Candy. You could probably argue that's a horror movie. Yeah, I have a lot. Hi, John. Yeah, I know. I figured it was about time to go live again, even though I didn't announce this or anything. Because I've done enough like significant interviews since then. I think it's pretty good actually. Howard does an amazing job as Kenshin, and Risa is really great as Kaoru. I don't think the voice actor for Sanosuke totally matches, but overall, I think it's a good dub. I don't know who Jade Kelly is. It's a bummer that Bang Zoom uh, isn't promoting the new Kenshin dub at all, but it's understandable. Oh, yeah, I didn't know who she was off the top of my head. Top 10 horror movie video. That's not my kind of content, so I don't think I'll be switching to like like favorites or like videos like that. Hey TXZ. No, I don't. I mean, I don't like dislike it, but I'm not like I don't watch the movies or anything. Yeah, I actually brought up Shiki um, briefly in my interview with Jeremy when I asked her about the darkest headspaces that she's gone for anime. Yeah, same. Because I thought I was going to be interviewing her 2 years ago, and it didn't end up happening. And then all of a sudden it did now. So, are you talking about me? That's funny. Thank you. If you're talking about me. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think that was the case with a lot of people that subscribe to me, just based off of how much traction it got um, on its own, like without me promoting it, which is really nice. It's fine, Sir Hat. I just thought that was funny. Yeah, I'm into a lot of horror manga. I've been in like even before finding out about Junji Ito. Thanks, Chris. I wish it was longer than a half hour, but um, you know, that's still fine. I don't really mind being told about time constraints. Yeah, yeah, I am caught up on it. I know it's supposed to be on hiatus again for a little bit after the last chapter. Hi, Black Panther. No, I haven't. Um, Jujika no Rokunin would be cool, but I don't think it'll ever happen because of how um, graphic it is and the subject matter. I don't think that'll ever get an anime adaptation officially, but that would be like my number one pick. Yeah, I would say it is. Hi, Greninja. It's dark fantasy, obviously, but it's also horror. Yeah, why? Yep. What about it? Or like, what about my interview with her, Black Panther? Oh yeah, Drifting Classroom is cool too. Yeah, I think if that would have gotten an adaptation, it would have happened already because it's so old. Favorite for kids anime. Um, I mean, I guess saying Pokemon is a cop out. I don't know. Um, I get Shaman King. I guess if I could pick one, I didn't really follow any of them that heavily. I think mine is Fernie's. Um, I mean, I do like Griffith's character a lot. I know that's controversial. I wouldn't agree with that, Ian. There's a lot of good horror anime. This would be on those. Oh no, I didn't. I don't really ever watch like live actions of anime or like animated material. I think one of the only good examples is, um, or like the best example is the Rurouni Kenshin movies. Yeah, I did watch Sonic X back then too. They did. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Who's Jeremy Lee? Um, you can look her up. She has a ton of credits. I think Corpse Party is good actually. Yeah, I I actively read. Excuse me. I actively read new chapters of the Miruko-chan manga. I've been a fan of that before it even got an anime. Hey Dio, yeah. I just figured that it would be a good time to go live, even though I didn't announce it or anything. Because I think I have enough subscribers at this point where I can like go live on a weekday evening and like have enough people engage with me, even if I don't announce it. What's that for? Oh, 5 years since the. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been that long. I remember going to see the first two episodes of the Fruits Basket remake in the theaters when that was a thing. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's that long ago. It's weird. Oh yeah, confident about what? Tactica. Yeah, it seemed like that one just kind of came and went. It didn't really get a lot of press. You mean Evangelion? Like you hadn't watched Evangelion before? I wish YouTube still would change their format to be more like TikTok Live, where you can. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think like just below 5,000 subscribers is a good enough number for being able to go live and not have it be like really boring and quiet. What percent? Yeah, I don't like you guys probably know this, but like I don't physically play any new games. I just like watch all the lore and read everything about them if I am interested enough. I hadn't heard of a. Oh, yeah. Good to hear then. It's always nice to hear um like people finally seeing well-known anime for the first time. Yeah, that's a exciting new show or like remake. Both of those actually. It would have been nice if I had if like I had just interviewed J. Michael Tatum for the first time right now. That'd be like really good timing. Favorite horror games? Yeah, I've played like almost every Japanese one for PS2. Hi, BioPhoenix. Um, so I love things like Silent Hill 3 and the Fatal Frame games and Siren and um, Rule of Rose. Oh yeah, yeah. He hasn't. I don't think he's ever been up where I am yet. Him or Brandon. But I'd love to meet them in person. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. Since the last like 3 years, especially, all of a sudden is when more people that have never been up here for cons are up here. But um, I think the other big convention that's that happens where I am in November, Twin Cities Con. Um, I think this year they're gonna have like all has been hotel people, which is I don't personally care about. So I'm hoping they have like a good amount of anime people too. That's on the oh yeah, it was a bummer that it got canceled. But considering how long it had been with no like other update, um, it wasn't shocking, I guess. Yeah, I figured that you thought that I was talking about Mary Elizabeth or Brienne, which is fair. But yeah, I mean Leo was probably like as important to me to interview as either of them would be, so and she was nice enough to just to share that on her Facebook too. You mean that new game, the Garo Mark of the Wolves? I'm not a king, but yeah. Yeah, I saw that already. Hi. Well, I mean, I know that the lead in that game is Griffin Patu, and obviously he lives in LA. So, unless you're talking about something else. Oh, you watched that for the first time? Yeah, it's still really popular nowadays for like I don't know. I think like anime aesthetic accounts made it popular again or something. Yeah. Yeah, Lane isn't something that you can just like watch anytime. You definitely have to be up for it. Oh yeah, yeah. Boa. No, I haven't. Yeah, I saw the BTVA page for it like a couple weeks ago. Hmm. It's kind of weird when the English dubs for games are announced like way before the game actually comes out. Is that actually happening? Because if that's true, it's cool, but I mean, no, I mean, it wouldn't have been. If they were going by the current voice actors, then they would have Kirk play Shadow. But I mean, it's cool, but it's just kind of frustrating since, Colleen got to do Tails in the movie. So it's like they should have everybody else do their characters too. But who knows what that's about. And I'd be saying that even if I hadn't interviewed them. I still think that that's how it should work. But it's good that Colleen still gets to play Tails like in everything. So growing a beard, no, I'm not. This is just me not shaving for like 3 days. I don't ever go longer than a few days without shaving. I'd have to cut my hair and like change my style for a little bit if I wanted to grow a beard. My favorite dere, and I only know like yandere and tsundere. No, I haven't. I don't really reach out to people that like predominantly do Western animation or like American games. I know that I've talked to a lot of people that do like a good amount of both, but um, yeah, I don't know what those mean off the top of my head. So I reached out to him a couple years ago, and he initially replied, and then I didn't hear from him anymore. Yeah, I reached out to him for Fire Emblem reasons. So, no, I haven't. Somebody else I'd want to talk to again. Um, there's a good amount of people. And some other people that I've reached out to for sequels just didn't respond to me. And I don't like it wouldn't be any like for personal reasons or anything, but probably just their schedules. Um, no, I haven't. It'd be cool to talk to like Tara Platt again or do like a full sequel with Yuri Lowenthal. Um, Ben Diskin. Yeah, there's a lot of people. No, I read the first chapter of the manga recently, and it seems fine. I mean, I didn't think it was amazing or anything. It just kind of seemed like a typical but good shonen anime. I'm glad that Austin Tyndall is the lead. Oh yeah, KG. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't thought of that. Because I've met him in person too, and I know that he would agree to do it. So yeah, because I especially since I interviewed him when I was still pretty green, and I had like really shitty lighting, and I didn't have a camera. Like I was still using the like built-in webcam on my old laptop. Hi, Gabe. Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm waiting. I would have to wait for like more things to come out, but you know, I'm sure that I'll end up talking to like Damien again or Amber again or who kn yeah, who knows. Damien's really fun to talk to since he just like goes all over the place and he's just like naturally a comedian, so and I'm sure that he's just gonna keep getting more and more big roles in anime and anime video games. Uh, they've never replied. I mean, I just did a sequel with Joe not that long ago. Yeah, Chris. I've already interviewed Lex Lang. Yeah, Chris is someone I would love to talk to too, but he doesn't like doing interviews. No, I haven't. I've never tried reaching out to him either. That's a good Gabe. Missions. Probably DBZ. That's probably the case with a lot of people. Adam Gibbs doesn't do interviews unless you pay for them. But he's retired, isn't he? Like he doesn't have any contact. Yeah. And I'm sure like other people I know him and like are still in touch with him, but I've just never really thought about it. Yeah, I mean he'd probably do like a written interview, but that's not my thing, obviously. So, but yeah, I was because Ayato is one of my favorite Genshin characters. I wouldn't know how to. She doesn't have any like direct contact listed. I think I DM'd her on Instagram once and I never heard anything. So, but I mean, she's in Fire Emblem 2 now, so it would be cool to talk to her. Yeah, I think Mark Derison is like also the case of someone that probably, even though he's not on social media at all, like a lot of people that have worked with him probably know him and like have his number and whatever. So, no, Dio, just because I don't ever buy like modern, I don't own any modern consoles or modern games. Oh yeah, Trojan X is cool. I could see it getting an anime eventually. Yeah, just not like I don't know everybody off the top of my head. Oh, that's the mobile game. Yeah, I mean I still don't even play like I don't even play Fire Emblem Fire Emblem Heroes, so Rooster Fighter in the interview. Clint and I follow each other on Twitter. We have for a long time. And I reached out to him for interview reasons and then he agreed and then he just kept saying that it wasn't a good time and then like we still follow each other, but um I just haven't heard it. I haven't heard anything from him still. Were you saying that in response to me saying I don't play Fire Emblem? Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't play like any modern games. If I like it enough, then obviously I'll do everything that you can without physically playing it. Hi, Paper Splash. Yeah, I think just like I had already known about Fire Emblem for a while, and um, when I started doing interviews, it just kind of I don't know, they kind of went hand in hand in terms of interest, and I noticed like how popular things could get um, doing interviews like for the subreddits for both of those franchises. Pretty much, Glenn. I'm really excited to see who the fallen characters are this year for Heroes. Oh, which one, Chris? There's like three, aren't there? Hi. Yeah, I think the trailer is in like 3 days. Yeah, the Fallen Banner 2 years ago was amazing. The one last year was just okay, but um, the uh, the performances are always like especially great. Oh, so just I mean, I don't think she could really talk about much. And when I started doing like regularly doing Genshin interviews, um, Inazuma had been out for like half a year, I think. So even by that point, it's like Sarah would have already talked about a lot of stuff. So I've reached out to her twice, and she said no at the time. I haven't tried her again too recently, but I think now would be a good time, with the remakes of Spice and Black Butler. So, and she's also in Fire Emblem Rena. So, nope. Yeah, I already interviewed Brianna. God, was that 3 years ago now? I don't remember if it was 2 or 3 years ago, but I've already done Spec Spencer. Ian, you should probably just like look through my channel. No, I was gonna say like my interview with Brianna was the one single interview I've done that didn't end up being recorded, and I just didn't end up redoing it with her because of her schedule. So, I think the only person I reached out to, like in terms of people that I've already talked to that are in Reload, are I reached back out to Heather, and she was just like super busy at the time, and I didn't keep following up. I could probably talk to Allegra again, which I would like to do too. So, but it would have been or it would be cool to talk to Tara Platt again and like ask her what she thinks about coming back for Elizabeth. It's nice that she still sounds exactly the same. So I've never played it, which I know I'm sure a lot of people are like, "Oh, you've never played Genshin, but you like you're like the one person on the internet that like regularly does people that are added to the franchise. It's like, yep. Yeah, she is. Yeah, I think nearly like 95% of people that were like main characters in the original Persona 3 are in the remake in some way, which is nice. Yeah, Dio, I just don't have the desire to like physically play games or like spend money on games. Because every time that I've gotten back into games, I just end up selling them for other things. I don't know who that is. Off the top of my head, I don't anyway. I'm not really watching anything right now, but like, um, my favorite anime are the later seasons of Sailor Moon, or I guess Sailor Moon overall. Not the new stuff for Sailor Moon, but the like the original. Um, Kenshin, Nightwalker, Fruits Basket, the original Fruits Basket. Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, Haruhi Suzumiya, Ranma. Yeah, those are some examples of what I like the most. Yeah, I did email Cheryl, but she's I never got a reply. So I'm actually not really I'm not that active in that hobby anymore either, Dio. Just for like monetary reasons. It's like I don't have money. The process of getting an interview, it's different with everyone. Um, but typically with voice actors, I'm usually directly interacting with them, just like via email. Um, but sometimes I'm completely talking to someone that's like a middleman for them. But most of the time, I'm directly interacting with them via email, and then I do everything via Zoom. I still own like there are some production art things that I like I'm never gonna get rid of. Um, but and I'm not like completely quitting the hobby either. So I can say that at least. Who would I never interview? I think you can probably figure that out. Yeah, I mean I have a lot of other hobbies that aren't related to anime or like I love baking. Uh, I love horror media. I love record collecting. No, I mean maybe I would do that, but I'm not gonna like change my channel into something completely different. I mean that'd be that'd be fun and cute, like baking something on live, but I like cinnamon related things a lot. That's most of what I bake. Um, Yeah, I have a lot of horror books. Like I do read a lot too, but I only read horror novels. Um, and I have like 200 and something records. Like 70s and 80s pop rock. Yeah, I took after I graduated high school, I took classes for voice acting in person here where I live for like 2 years. Um, that was before COVID. And that was fun. My ASMR dreams for this channel. I mean, I guess I shouldn't ever say never just because I've had a lot of people even before I started doing interviews say like, "Oh, you should do like horror narration, like read creepy pastas and stuff." Like Mr. Nightmare, people like that, and I think I'd be successful at it if I like put all my energy towards that and nothing else. Okay, well, thanks for hanging out, Dio. As always. My favorite writers. Well, I think my favorite books are like different from my favorite writers because I mean, I do like a lot of Dean Koontz's early stuff. Like I've read a lot by him and I've liked most of it. Oh, that's cool. Official. I never did that. I never did like any projects. Yeah, I mean one of my favorite books is Voice of the Night by Dean Koontz. Um, it's from the early 80s. I don't really buy books as often as I try to rent them because I'm really particular. Keteman. I know that I've read that too, but I don't remember which one that is. Because I've read like all of his core horror period, like from the mid '70s up until the early '90s. Yeah, I've read all of those books, but I don't remember the plots specifically for some of them. Besides the ones that I like the most, like Voice or Watchers or Whispers or Funhouse or I like Stephen King. I haven't read anything like new that he's done for quite a long time. Oh, maybe I didn't read that then. More cover songs. Yeah, I just don't know when. Well, now there's like nobody in here, at least according to what YouTube is showing on my end. Oh, thanks, Chris. Yeah, I have some like punk clothes. More people would probably call it emo nowadays. Oh, yeah, I never read The Stand. I also don't like books that are incredibly fucking long. Not really. I mean, I love the Ramones. and I like some songs by, The Clash and bands like that. I like a lot of stuff by the Ramones. I'm not a student. Yeah, I'm 26. I've just had like normal kind of jobs so far, like retail. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess at this point it would just be cool to get like more big modern generation people that I haven't, or not just modern, but like any other big anime people that I haven't gotten yet that are like big deals for me. Like Julianne Taylor is a big one, and she's obviously never like she's done interviews before, but she's never done like a in-depth on-camera interview. Yeah, I like King's more like horror stuff. I'm not really into the drama things. I've already interviewed Ryan. This is Yeah, I can look like really young still too, like even younger than however you're perceiving I look right now, but because normally my I'm smooth shaven and I still own like a lot of clothes that I fit into in middle school and stuff. Yeah, I know you can, but that's more, I think it's more so like if you'd be pursuing like a doctorate or something in the medical field. I mean, Paul would be cool because he's in Fire Emblem too, but I can't really. I mean, it'd be cool to get like Great Lyle. I've met her in person. She's really nice. No, I can't, John. Well, like my actual interview with Eric was 3 years ago, but yeah, yes, QC. Yeah, one of my favorite like story collections actually is Blue World by Robert McCammon. I own that and I've read it like a bunch of times. Who's that? I've gotten a lot of funny um, comparisons, but I don't know who that is off the top of my head. Okay, bye, Chris. Thanks for hanging out for an hour. Yeah, my next interview will be next Tuesday. with another one of the original cast members for the first dub of Sailor Moon, like the one that we grew up with. So that'll be fun. I'm an art broker right now, so I help sell art for somebody else. Yeah, yeah, it's somebody else from the original Canadian dub, like one of the main characters. And obviously, I haven't talked to anybody else from the original dub in quite a while. So yeah, they're all really super nice. And I know that a lot of them still like regularly do appearances. You don't really hear that much about her anymore. Oh, you're a voice act. Well, I mean, I've talked about this on live before too, and a lot of people know this, but uh, like one of the reasons why anime voice actors that live in Texas do so many cons all the time is because that's how they make most of their money, like for a living. It's from traveling to conventions and like selling, you know, autographs and pictures and all of that. I mean, there's still a lot of people that um, predominantly work in anime that in California that do cons all the time too, but um, usually voice actors that are living in California that also work on anime, it's like they also work on other forms of voiceover that would be able to make more money than just doing anime. So um, that's the reasoning for that. I'm not that I don't feel that strongly about it just because I've never been that big into the Gundam franchise period. I don't I don't I don't really care about mecha stuff. Yeah, commercial voiceover and Western animation are probably what pay the most. So, and I think too, like if you do a lot of audiobooks, yeah, but that's also more common if they only really work in like anime and not any other form of voiceover. Um, because yeah, you can't really make a living only working on anime unless you're like a in-house member of like Crunchyroll or some or like if you do script adaptation too or things like that. Yeah, a lot of people that I've interviewed do audiobooks. Um, Amberly Connors Veronica Taylor, Tara Sands, Kevin Collins. Um, yeah, I know doing audiobooks is um, the hardest. Like it takes the most effort. Oh, yeah, I think there's a lot of crossover. Like Kevin, I think only does audiobooks for the most part at this point. You don't really hear him in anime ever anymore. But that's also because he lives in New York and nothing is really getting dubbed in New York anymore besides like Yu-Gi-Oh media. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, stage acting or like doing any kind of acting period, but like theater acting will get you a lot of you know, prep for that. Kevin T. Collins, Griffith in Berserk. Really, I mean, ever since Crunchyroll made like the in-house dubbing rule more of a thing, I mean, there's still a good amount of studios in Los Angeles that dub anime too, but it's really just like I think the main two are like Studiopolis and Bang Zoom. Yeah, Sugar Apple Fairy Tale is a cute show. Yeah, it's like if you only want to work on anime, then I would live in like I would live in Texas for doing voiceover, but if you want to do anime and other things as well, then it's like you should live in LA. So, even though it's a lot more expensive. Okay. Yeah, I mean, LA is like all the avenues of voiceover. But if your main degree is in cybersecurity, then I would imagine that you'd be able to get a really good job. I wouldn't say that. Oh, um, I like I like both, honestly. I like certain characters more in the original dub, and I like certain characters more in the Viz dub. Both bangs in a cup of tea. I think they would mostly be recording remotely. I'm sure some of them do fly in, but I think it's mostly remote, especially for like Fire Emblem and Fire Emblem Heroes because those are such short sessions. So it wouldn't make sense for someone to fly in to do like a 20-minute recording, especially something that isn't union. Best anime dubbing studio. I mean, I grew up mostly with like Los Angeles based dubs, so I'd say like Bang Zoom personally, I guess. Once I graduate from, yeah, I mean, good luck. I don't think it's impossible. It's just really, competitive. That's hobbyist. I mean, my opinion about that is, I mean, I still watch things in Japanese too. Um, I don't have like a hard preference, but I think anybody that is critical of that is, ridiculous. It's not a big deal. I mean, people can like what they like. It's definitely not something that's worth getting really upset over. Hi, Destiny. Thank you. You're the first new person that's joined and said something in a little bit. I've only seen Evangelion entirely. I haven't seen the other two entirely. Thank you, Destiny. Do you know any Japanese? Yeah. Um, there's a lot. Like Yuki Kaida. She was the original Kurapika. Like she went to high school and college in California, and then she moved back to Japan to pursue voice acting. Is it harder to get certain people? Yeah. Like for example, my interview with Jeremy was set up a month in advance, and I was never talking directly to her. I was talking to her management team. Yeah, people have asked that a few times now, Paper Splash, and I think even if I wanted to, it wouldn't really be an option because I don't even know who I would contact. And yeah, like Laura. I mean, Laura and Travis don't ever do like you don't ever see them do interviews anymore, like independent interviews or like interviews just about their anime work. So I think even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to because they've kind of like left that behind them. Yeah, the only person who's in Critical Role that will still do interviews with like um independent outlets is ironically Matthew Mercer, but I've never had success in getting him yet either. So yeah, I was surprised way back when I first interviewed Yuri that it was like relatively easy to get him to. No, I haven't. I've interviewed Kyle. It was like 3 years ago, but and Johnny, I've met Johnny, I've talked to him in person twice, but I never asked him about the interviews, about interview stuff. But he's a super kind, amazing man. I could see myself doing one with Crispin eventually, but probably not Liam, just because you know he's under the Critical Role umbrella that we were just talking about. So I wouldn't say that Johnny Young Bosch voices high pitched characters. No, I haven't, Ian. I don't know who that is. No. I mean, I'm probably like a baritone, and like my my like natural speaking voice is lower than Johnny Young Bosch's. So Eh. I know Liam. I mean, Liam O'Brien will still do anime and anime games. Nope. Like I said, Ian, you should probably just like look through my channel, like all the way down and up my channel. I've had correspondence with Patrick twice, and he's just really busy, so that's why it hasn't happened yet. Oh, really? I've never done like live action acting. Um, I've done voice acting, or like, well, I've taken classes for it. I've interviewed like I've interviewed pretty much everybody in the Sonic franchise besides like anyone that plays Sonic. But I've interviewed like every other character. You know, I've done Amy, Tails, Shadow, Rouge, Cream, um, other ones I don't remember, like the alligator and the bird and the big cat. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's the same with I mean Kirk is the same age as Leah Sargent, and both of them just naturally it's their natural voices for like pretty much all their characters. So it wasn't hard to get in I mean I was never directly talking to Jeremy. I was talking to her management team the whole time. But um, I mean, she has contact information on our website, so it just took a while for it to finally be finalized because of her schedule. So singing, I like to do it. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people have said in my interviews that doing dubbing is like anime dubbing and like anime video game dubbing is very musical. Like there's a musical quality to it. So they definitely can go hand in hand. I don't think so. Six, almost 6:30. Thanks, Destiny. Thank you. No. I still think that that's like dependent on the director and the person. No, I don't really have to. There's not really anybody that ever comes into my live and acts inappropriate though. At least not yet. I don't have like that big of a following yet to have that be a problem, I don't think. If I was going live around the time that I like interviewed Monica Rial, I would probably be getting like a lot of annoying people in my lives, but um, it never happens. Probably Texas, honestly, just because it's a right to work state, so you don't have to be in SAG, and there's more opportunity, and obviously, like more anime is done in Texas and not in California anymore. Well, I don't interview people like that. I mean, I have interviewed Karen, but that was honest. That was before I even knew any of the stuff that she tweeted about or liked. I didn't know any of that. Um, if I had known that, I probably wouldn't have interviewed her. But I mean, that was 3 years ago, and our conversation was fine, but yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, I don't, and I'm not going to interview people like Vic or Chuck Huber or, um, anybody like that. Yeah, I'm mostly connected to people on Facebook, and most of the voice actors on Facebook that I'm friends with are like golden age, like older generation ones. Um, I don't follow any like webtoons, honestly. Yeah, and then obviously Twitter is mostly like where the new generation voice actors are the most active. Twitter and Instagram. I think that's just because that's where the spotlight is on now. Hi, Christian. Thank you. Yeah, I've tried emailing Alejandro many times, even going through his agency, and I've never had success. So I'm thinking maybe he would only do it if it was paid, but which I wouldn't do because I've never paid for any interview. But I don't know for sure. So yeah, but stuff really isn't dubbed in Vancouver anymore. Like very, very rarely. Will I keep this live up? I guess I can. I don't think it's been that exciting. Less than Mary Claypool. Yeah, I've heard a lot about them, but I mean, I'm not sure how successful I'd be at doing people that uh, are just known as directors. So, um, probably Terrifier 2. There's certain scenes in that go on too long and are just like very, very, very graphic. Right, yeah. No, the most recent thing that was dubbed in Vancouver was the Dragon Quest anime. Yeah, I just don't really like. I know that it would be still interesting and entertaining, but not to the same level as um, it would be with voice actors. Like if I was talking to somebody who only directs or only writes. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I know who that is. I don't think there's any video footage of Bob Buckholz either, and he has like a career as a voice actor too. So I think I might wrap this up just because it's my hour and a half is my usual um, live length. Whoever all is still here. But thanks for hanging out. Hi, Yui. That's what usually happens. It's like any time that I'm about to um, go off of here, there's always like new people that join and want to ask things, which is fine. That's a funny question. Oh, no, Yui, if you wanted to ask me something, you can. If you're still here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna get off soon. Uh, Richard, no. Brad, I was in contact with for a little while, and I was supposed to interview him, but then he just stopped answering me. Like, I have his personal email. Um, and now he's like back to doing conventions again, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, I reached out to Richard's agency, but it didn't lead to anything. But I'm proud of the like ocean group people that I have gotten to do. So fortunately, I've never had that happen. Um, but I'm not usually reaching out to like agents for interviews. Um, but like the only agency that has helped me out a lot in landing people is Atlas. Like I've gotten a lot of big people through them. Um, so that's good. But most of yeah, I mean most at least in my experience, most agencies like don't even answer back. No, Atlas like ATLAS. It's a voiceover agency. Are you talking about somebody I've done Destiny? Like people like that? Um yeah, there weren't that many that I was like talking to somebody else the entire time and I was never directly talking to the voice actor. Really the only ones I can think of are like Jeremy and Kari Walgren. I think every other voice actor were um, I was directly contacting with them, like at, by some point. Um, yeah, only those two are the only two I can think of where I was always talking to somebody else. Yeah, especially considering she has a kid now and she's doing cons like every month this year. She's actually going to be here in Minneapolis in August. Maybe I'll go. She's like the only person that's going to be at that particular con that I would care about meeting, though. So, yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool to meet her in person, even though I don't know if she would remember me offhand. I'd probably have to say something, but it's fair considering it was 3 years ago. Yeah, she seems genuinely kind and like appreciative of everybody. I had been friends with her on Facebook for a long time, like before I even started doing interviews. I've never heard anything from him. I don't really have like huge interest in interviewing either of them. But I mean, I've never had success with either of them anyway. So Mm. I'd like to think that if I ever interviewed Sean, it would be different with me just because I would talk about, like stuff that he never talks about, like ninja nonsense and Shadow Hearts, like other anime and anime video games that he's known for, besides the obvious. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because usually when you ask questions like those, then they'll just start like doing voices like as examples of what they're talking about. And that's always fun. Yeah, that's the reason why it's like even though I like going to conventions, um I just uh I just I don't really like going to voice actor panels at conventions because it can just be so uncomfortable depending on what is asked and like people that don't have any self-awareness. Oh, Chris Sabat, yeah. Yeah, I knew that that was his like natural voice. Like I remember when I went to Twin Cities Con for the second time uh this past fall, there was when I did Gray Delisle's Q&A, um there was someone I think that this person might have been like autistic too. I don't know for sure, but it was someone who asked what they asked Gray Delisle what Mandy from Billy and Mandy would think of Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen, and they just like kept going on and on, even after Gray said that she had no idea what that was, and eventually the moderator of the panel had to cut them off. And yeah, it's stuff like that that's just like really uncomfortable to sit through. Yeah, like the first Twin Cities Con, um, I went to a panel that was for Cliff Chapin and David Matranga, and it was like the same exact thing too. It was like a bunch of teenagers or preteens asking shit about My Hero that like nobody really wanted to hear, and I'm sure that they get asked all the fucking time. So, yeah, I usually don't like going to voice actor panels at cons. I don't think I know about that. I've interviewed Mike. I swear sometimes. Yeah, Mike is fun and really nice. I interviewed him for I was guesting on somebody else's channel and they weren't really prepared and they like asked me to come on and like help with the interview, and it was pretty much just me leading the interview. It was on YouTube for a while, but it isn't on YouTube anymore. I think it was sometime last year that I did that. Yeah. I think hmm, I'm just trying to decide when I want to get off. Maybe I'll dip out now. It's been almost 15 extra minutes. Um, but anybody that's still here, thanks for hanging out and thanks for asking questions and talking. And no, is that that's the current Sonic, right? Yeah, I know that he has, but I don't know. I don't really have like personal interest in talking to him, so it's the same thing when people ask me if I can interview Sarah Natacheni, and it's like, what am I going to ask her that she hasn't already talked about like a billion times already? And I also have to have I have to personally be interested in everybody that I interview. Um, Otherwise, it just feels hollow and like fake to me. So, but yeah, to the 5 people according to YouTube that are still here, thanks for hanging out, and um, I'll go live again soon. I know I say that every time now, and then I don't end up going live again for like 4 months, but I'll try to make a point of it and announce it next time. But yeah, have a good night, guys. Thanks, Destiny.